Today's word is twister. So we're building a twister themed room. Alright, well, I don't know exactly what it means by a twister. Probably the weird little game thing, but I'm just gonna build like a tornado. Natural disasters are on the mind, I guess. And like, I don't know, it feels like I constantly see natural disasters happen in like America and whatnot. And it's just like, why don't they build their houses a little bit more resistant to natural disasters? Is it just like not worth it a lot of the time, or is it just, you know, capitalism? It's a little too expensive. It's probably just capitalism and it's like too expensive or whatever. I don't know, like it feels like, you know, to prevent fires, people have been building houses out of like bricks and stone for like a really long time at this point, I feel like. You know, humanity has suffered many great fires over many centuries. And like, it just feels like at some point people started just building stuff out of like, you know, bricks and stone. And somehow it seems like people have regressed to just, you know, paper mache. Maybe I'm naive in all of it, you know, probably. But it just, to me, it feels like, wouldn't it be better if you just built your houses a bit stronger? Even just like building them out of like stone, like they would at least be somewhat resistant to things like tornadoes and also fires. You know, they might not be fully proof to them, but like, you know, I don't really understand the full power of a natural disaster because I don't live in a place that has them. And yet it feels like something can be done about it, you know? It feels like in Japan, for example, from what I understand, people, like, at least in the city, they build their houses, they build their like skyscrapers very much like earthquake proof, or at least like very resistant to earthquake. And also flooding is a thing, so they have built like gigantic reservoirs to like try to prevent. Obviously, it's not going to prevent everything, and, you know, so sometimes such a strong natural disaster will happen that will destroy everything. But, like, the other day I literally saw a story about how some guy built a wall, just straight up a wall with some, like, pumps and everything around his house, because it was, like, his house got flooded like 3 times or something. And so he just built a gigantic wall around his house, spent like a fuckload of money doing it. And then like pretty much the moment the wall got constructed, another flood happened. And his house was like the only one standing in like the entire town. I swear to God, that's like a weird fake AI story. It's just, why isn't that done more? Isn't that like a little bit strange to you? Yeah, like I know it's more expensive to build like a bigger, like not a bigger necessarily. How about you just build a smaller house, right? Because it seems like Americans have very like gigantic houses all the time. How about just build a slightly smaller house? Fucking get rid of a second floor or whatever, just have a small nice house and just have it be resistant to like fucking like build it out of like stone or something, like right, or bricks or whatever. Just have it be a little bit more resistant to things at least. I guess a little bit wouldn't really help. Have it a lot of it at that point. It feels like people who live in areas where there's natural disasters, people who live in areas that have permafrost, they build their houses in a way to like take into consideration the permafrost and like, you know, how to deal with it and live despite, you know, the problems it causes. Whereas it feels like America is just like, oh hey, there's like tornadoes happening all over the place, whatever, we'll just rebuild, dude, whatever, like, who cares? Just the way everything works is stupid. And then another part of it is just like, everybody always makes it political somehow. Like, oh, there's a wildfire going on, yep, it's politics, it's politically based. And it's like, dude, get your fucking priorities straight. You know? Not everything has to be political, okay? The world's a strange place. The world isn't that strange. The people are ridiculous, though. Man, it feels like I've been building this for a while, and it's so small still. It hasn't been that long. It's only been like 5 minutes or something of building. I've just been yapping so much. Problem the mentality, where it's just like, build it fast and as cheap as possible, and then when it breaks, rebuild it as fast and cheap as possible. Instead of just building it in a way where it doesn't have to be rebuilt. It's weird how, like, effective capitalism is to get people motivated to do stuff, you know, like start businesses and do other things. Hasn't quite worked out super good, where it's just, there's a lot of bad apples and all of them just abuse capitalism. People just accrue more and more wealth and then just don't even do anything. They don't pay their employees more. They like complain that, you know, everything's too expensive for them even though they're making more than ever. It's so weird. What I don't understand is like, as like a CEO, I know the whole point of you starting a business is to make money generally. That's usually why people start companies. It looks kind of stupid, but like whatever. However, like at a certain point of income, I just don't understand the point. It's literally just at a certain level of income, like what are you doing anymore, you know? Why are you trying so hard to get another billion when you already have like 4 billion? You could take a small even percentage of that billion and pay your employees more, make them, you know, be happier and like, you know, everything, make them be able to actually, you know, live in this world. But instead you absolutely need that extra dollar. It's such a Mr. Krabs behavior. It's crazy. Kind of fucked up. You'd think Mr. Krabs is like an exaggerated character of greed, but honestly, if anything, it feels like man's under exaggerated compared to like a real world billionaires. Oh my god, the thing with Elon Musk, bro. You're like a billionaire. You don't have anything to prove, you know? Yet man's insecure about his gaming capabilities. Like, oh my god, bro, what a laughing stock. Go like help the world. You know what I mean? As like a billionaire, like, you know, go help the world at that point. Like, right? You've accrued so much wealth. You don't need any of it basically for yourself. Go to help people. The thing is with billionaires, they're just so delusional that it's just impossible for them, I feel like. It's not as if there aren't slightly better billionaires out there. There are some that do improve people's lives here and there, or try to. I feel like this is gonna look quite ugly. I mean, so far it's not looking great, this whole Twister thing. Jesus. Whatever, you know, we take risks out here, you know, we sometimes do crazy builds. It's also like the lies and the damage caused by billionaires is so crazy as well. It's just like, you know, like they can make everything cheaper, they can make people's lives better, but of course, since it, you know, goes into their pay cut, you know, it takes away $1 million out of their billion. It's like, oh wait, my money is in jeopardy, sir. I can't afford that. So I think it's time for glass. I think we put a bunch of glass everywhere. There's got to be a method to this, but it's also just so much shit is at this point run by companies, and like there's a point where governments can't even do what they need to do. Even if the government isn't corrupt, it's just there's so much backlash against what they do that it seems like it's basically impossible to even pass a law anymore. It's like in the past, you know, people just voted on stuff and you like probably got somewhat what you asked for, and now it's just like, well, you don't get to decide anymore. It's the big billionaires that get to decide everything. It's gonna take a little while, but I think it's worth it. This is a cool build. I like it so far. Just hope I don't mess it up, because I feel like that's very possible at this point. Also, it's like really interesting. Had this thought where like, it's always an us versus them situation, isn't it? You know, these random people you know, they think a certain way, they have their own opinions, and like that's fine in like its own bubble to some extent. But then it's always just like they have to make sure that everybody else in the world has the same opinion. Every single other person in the world just has to agree with them. There's no room for disagreement. Everybody has to agree on the same thing. Even if it's an unimportant thing to agree on. Just stay in your damn lane, you know what I mean? You think a certain way, you know, you whatever, just stay in your damn lane. Go find like other groups of people that, you know, think similarly to you. I'm sure there's plenty. You don't have to convert the entire rest of the world into your group. You really don't. You can just stay in your lane, be happy with your little group or whatever, and just here you go. It's like, I wonder if that's like, even with flat earthers, is that something they're doing? Are they trying to get the entire world to believe them? What is the point of being in the flat earth community? Because I can understand to a lot of people is just, you know, being different to others. And they're like thinking that you're smarter than other people because they don't see the truth or whatever. And it's just like, okay, fine. Just like, again, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Probably always has something to do with capitalism. The more people that believe in your claim and the more people that group together with you, the more benefit you can draw from it. The more people believe in flat earth, the more somebody benefits off of it, you know? It's so fun. To me, the series is so funny because it is sort of a podcast. You know, sometimes I'm just talking about what I'm building if I don't have like a topic to talk about, and some other times I'm just yapping about like random things that are going on in the world, drama sometimes even. Because I don't know, like, I don't know what the point of the whole series was to begin with. Kind of just to, you know, be able to do something daily. That was kind of the point of the whole series. It just was curious, in a way, to see if people would enjoy it as well. It's always a thing for me on YouTube. Like, I'm curious to do things to see if people would enjoy them, right? Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can get a world download on day 200, because I think that'll be quite coolio. Would love to see like other people explore it and just see how they react to it, you know? Honestly, this looks a lot cooler from the top, I'm not gonna lie. From the side, it's like a bit lame, you know, but it's just like I look at tornadoes and they do look a little bit lame, I'm not gonna lie. Just a little bit. They look cool, but they also look lame. Because it's very organized wind in a way. Like, it all flows in such a, like, perfect circle, pretty much. Not really. I mean, there's some chaos to it, and there's a lot of chaos to it in a sense, but still. Tornadoes, I don't know. Any pictures that I've seen anyway, at least when it's a small tornado, it really just doesn't look all that impressive. It's just, like, just twists, you know? It twists, literally. Probably usually a bit brighter as well. I feel like I should have used more of this white concrete. Honestly, I might here. Like, towards the center. Or from the inside, just color it all in. Seems cool to me. Alright, well, I think that's enough for the outside. Now it's time for the inside. Alright, well, since it's a tornado, you know, there's a lot of tornado-themed rooms, actually, in media. We could obviously put the Howling Cliffs from Hollow Knight in here. However, I think there's something much cooler we can put in here. And that is an Elden Ring reference, of course. There's a boss fight in the tornado area. I'm gonna build that in here, basically. I don't even know how I'm like gonna fit him in here, so you know what I mean? Okay, how about we do the sword first? That's actually a good idea. That's actually a fantastic idea, because that's like the entire thing. That's like the entire point of this. The actual blade of it, of course, is red. For reasons. Very, very good reasons. I'm pretty sure. Isn't it like the Blade of Death? Also, what is this boss's name? Malekith, the something of something. Doesn't it look weird? It does look weird, yes. The outside looked so cool. Now the inside being weird is just kind of sad a little bit. Yeah, this is just gonna be one of his hands around here. He's gonna connect to whatever this body part is. Okay, yeah, let's just say he's like halfway in the tornado. How about that? He's like half in the wall, because like I can't really build his whole body. So this is one of his hands. Then his head is gonna be like over here then. Let's just put some of this the glowy stuff around this blade. Actually, now that I think about it, a lot of the bosses in Elden Ring have like giant, like massive, like flowing hair. That's kind of interesting, actually. That's a good point. This is gonna look like a Smiling Friends character. It's his eyeball, bro. Man, is this a Smiling Friends character? Oh my god, that would be amazing. Replace all the enemies in Elden Ring with Smiling Friends characters, like little creatures. That would be awesome, man. Oh my god, that would be it. That would be the best mod. Screw the co-op mod, you know, who cares about playing with your friends? The Smiling Friends critters is where it's at, bro. Alright, let's just put some like stone bricks around here, you know. The place is called Crumbling something Azula. Crumbling Fumbling Azula. Again, not very recognizable, just looks like a glob of stuff. It is also interesting. I've seen a lot of people say that they're like frustrated with Elden Ring, which is so interesting to me, because I remember when I started playing Souls-like games, I was always very, very angry at them. But at some point, something changed in me, and I stopped being so annoyed at them. And now I can die like 1,000 times to a boss, and like I'll get a little bit upset. I feel like I have insane anger management. It's just like I can die to a boss 1,000 times, and I'll be all right. I'll just do it again. I'll just beat him on the 1,001st attempt. It's as simple as that. All right, and to get into the tornado room, you just have to climb up here through the notebook room, I believe, all the way up the spider, and bada bing, bada bam. That's the Twister room from the outside, and on the inside, it's a lovely little Elden Ring reference filled with the boss from Elden Ring, from the tornado area, yes. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Subscribe if you did, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye!